This is the site, also on Wurundjeri country. It's located to the south of the Commons, Nightingale 1, and Nightingale projects underway. It's part of a precinct transformation. The site is bounded by the upfield train line and the bike path to the west, and a commercial strip of Sydney Road to the east. This pocket of Brunswick Street has seen rapid densification over the past decade, very little of it desirable. In 2014, Breathe completed the Commons, which led to Nightingale 1. AMA, Architecture and CCA, amongst others, were silent investors in Nightingale 1, keen to support a necessary shift in the multi-residential offering in Melbourne. This is Duckett Street, a collection of single-storey light industrial warehouses across 12 titles. This is a scheme with planning permission before we bought the site. However, Nightingale Village was an opportunity to deliver a truly diverse, fine-grained housing project, a village collaboration by many hands. The 7 practices involved, and some of the directors and project architects. Generously, Wawawa sold their site to then Nolan City Council to enable them to build Bullabek Park, a much-needed green space for the community. So this is the site and each of the buildings. As well as design architect, each practice was the developer for the project. Collaboration is an important aspect of the Nightingale Village. The 6 firms worked closely together to establish practices mentoring emerging practices with energy and ideas coming along the way. Collaboration also took the form of peer reviews involving all practices in the design phases, resulting in shared knowledge but also architectural outcomes such as shared light courts between Evergreen and Parklife, which provides such great amenity to those buildings. Collaboration is again evident in the delivery methodology. 1 drawing set from our documenting architect Hayball, 1 contract, 1 builder. The efficiency of this cooperation had concrete expression through the shared services and facilities, a single substation and car park, trenching between the sites across Duckett Street, all of which allowed for the facades to be freed up for maximum activation, as highlighted here. Pedestrian access. Sorry, my fingers are jumping. Through extensive collaboration with Marybeck Council and design with Openwork, the village was able to pedestrianise most of Duckett Street for the benefit of the broader community. Each building set back from their tidal boundary to create a new local pedestrian laneway we call the Southern Mews, and an internal lane within Parklife connecting Duckett Street and the park on ground floor. Oh, something is really weird. It's jumping, sorry, I don't know why. Okay, here. Extensive ground plane vegetation, and a single basement is located under some of the southern sites. Vehicle access is limited to busier Hope Street and Urban Coops building. The basement houses 14 car share vehicles via an agreement with GoGet with access for the broader community. Highlighted here are places to stop for incidental interaction within the building fabric, Duckett Street. Setting back from the edge of the upfield bike path to define a more generous relationship between buildings and path, as well as opportunities for pedestrian refuge, pause points and greening. Building columns for the train impact barrier, avoid blind spots. And most buildings have direct access into multiple bike stores. There's 470 bike parks across the village. Here are the bike spots and the bike parking in Parklife. Vertical circulation is located at the edges of buildings to maximise natural light ventilation and encourage use. Despite the single documenter and builder, each building has distinct individual character and evident through the various entries and lobbies for each building. Rooftop gardens. Landscape was designed by Openwork, EGA and Amanda Oliver. Places for introverts and extroverts, groups and individuals and pets. Space for recreation and somewhere to dry the washing, adjacent to rooftop communal laundries in each building. Andy Fergus says the laundries are the most social areas in the buildings. 8 commercial tenancies are located on ground floor, curated to benefit the village and the local community.
Okay, I won't go through this. This is a page of our sustainability staff. You have the documents on this. This is Val from Evergreen. She's one of our social housing tenants. There are 27 apartments pre-sold to community housing providers, Housing Choices Australia and Women's Property Initiative. and blind integrations build seamless, cohesive communities in the village. Building a nurturing community is a core value of Nightingale. The resident groups of each building were formed before construction and even started to form supportive networks, friendships, respect and kinship. The architecture fosters connections, spontaneous interaction, and the self-selecting groups tend to share values and priorities. Importantly, the communities are comprised of peoples of all ages and diverse family units. This is a highly functional and provides social infrastructure for new babies, ageing in place, illness and death, but also celebration and the handing down of wisdom and experience. Here's a selection of some of the apartment types from 4 bedrooms to tile house and the people that live in them who we've all come to know. 2 bedroom, 1 bedroom, and we'll talk about tile house. It's a studio apartment, range between 25 to 35 square metres, and they're sold for around $300,000 and are aimed at first home buyers. This is the one from Nightingale Evergreen. There are 6 buildings with distinct architectural sensibilities and imperatives. Here are some short summations in the architect's own words. Clare Cousins from Evergreen. Evergreen is a framework for community to flourish, a neighbour, a connection, a garden, a home. Austin Maynard, a park life. With its distinctive mountainous roofline and unique rooftop amphitheatre, Park Life is a community-focused building with a variety of social and communal areas that achieves an energy rating of 9 stars. Kennedy Nolan at left field. For Kennedy Nolan, our Nightingale is an exercise in providing the quality and domestic comfort of our single residential projects for our left field residents using colour, texture, intensity, playful form, and a demand Oliver garden. Hayball at Courtyard say it is designed from the inside out. The thoughtfully landscaped central courtyard gives the building its name and provides the formal mechanism to achieve a heightened sense of community, foster visual connection, abundant natural light and ventilation between all the apartments. Reed at Sky House say it's a study in efficiency, material simplicity, small footprint living and affordability. And Architecture at Urban Coop say Urban Coop were a pre-established group wishing to live as an intentional community with shared facilities to support their desire to live with common purpose. This is the first vertical co-housing community of its kind in Australia. This is a page of village stats you may wish to ask about later. But in conclusion, there is so much to say, but we'll leave you with this. The Nightingale Village is unique and uniquely good. It was delivered by architects as developer, a brave and substantial undertaking embarked upon to effect positive change in a contentious market. And that effect is discernible in the market today. At the village, a large piece of authentic city making has occurred and it has been led by your colleagues. To finish, I'll read an email from Victoria Rees, my fellow director at Kennedy Nolan and Leftfield, sent to Clare Cousins, the powerhouse director of our village. As I sat in Duckett Street on Saturday, I was struck by the slow burn, activism and neighbourhood shaping that the village represents and reflected with pride and relief on what could have been there.